Hey, what's up guys, it's Theo from Final Concept. So today we are going to create a simple logo in Adobe Photoshop. So let's just get started. Welcome to Final Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. So let's open up our application. For this tutorial I'm using Photoshop CC 2018 and I'm just going to create a new document. And I'm going to leave my width as 1920 and my height as 1080 so that I have a perfect YouTube thumbnail, but you can leave it as however you want. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring up my rulers, so Ctrl R to bring up the rulers, and I'll click and drag this to the center. I'm more concerned with the horizontal alignment instead of the vertical, so I'll just play with the horizontal for now. So Ctrl R to re-hide the options. Once we've done that, I'll quickly go to my shapes tool and I'll create a circle using the ellipse tool. So to create a perfect circle, I'll hold down shift and I'll click and drag like so. And with my move tool, I'm going to try and position this somewhere at the center. Now the color I'm using is 2299 FE and I'll click on OK. Now before I do anything to this color, I'm going to add in a gradient. So I'll go to FX and I'll click on gradient overlay. So make sure that that layer is selected, by the way. Now once I've done that, I'll click on this gradient icon right here and I'll click on the first preset. So that would be foreground to background. So that would be the foreground color to the background color, which is white. That's why we are getting this white effect. Now what I'll do is I'll click on the second option, which is right here, and I'll change it to the color I want to use. So I want a little bit of purple somewhere around here, so that's what I'm going to select. So I'll place my color picker somewhere around here, just trying to find the perfect color I want. I think somewhere around here should be just fine. I don't want it to be too bright, and I'll click on OK. Now you can play with these sliders to know how much detail you want to put into the work. So I think mine should be around the location of 80%. So I'll put it, or I'll just type it in here. So 80% is a lot better for me. And once I've done that, I'll just click on OK for both. So currently we have that blue color fading from the bottom to the top, being the new purple we just created. Now I'll go back to my shapes tool and I'll create a custom shape tool. So for that, I'll be using this custom shape tool, which is just a stroke without any fill color. So the same thing, I'll just hold down. Now make sure that this layer is not selected. So just click outside the layer so that no layer is selected. So I'll just hold down shift and I'll click and drag somewhere around here. Now once I've done that, I'll use the move tool and I'll place it in the center like so. Now this is a little bit too huge for me, so I reduce the size to somewhere around here. Let me quickly zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. Now I don't want the blue color, so I'll double click on this since it's a shape and I'll change it to white. Now once I've done that, I'm just going to type in my information. Now I'll set the foreground color to white because I want my text to be white, and I'll type it in, so that'll be a logo, and I'll place it somewhere around here. Now the font I'm going for is called Renaissance Bold. I'll try and leave a link in the description below. I'm not sure I remember where I actually saved it from, but I'll try and leave a link in the description below. So I think a size of about 30 should be just fine. And I'm going to add in a simple drop shadow for the logo text. So with that selected, I'll just go to FX and I'll click on drop shadow. So let's bring our dialog box somewhere around here so that I can see what I'm doing. So I actually wanted to make this a little bit smaller. So yeah, the angle is going to be 45. You can increase or decrease the opacity. I think I'll go with an opacity of about 60 or 50. I don't want to be overshadowing the whole logo. And my distance is going to be 5. My spread is 1 and my size is 15. So I'll just click on OK. And I'm going to apply this same effect on the circle. So what I'll do is I'll hold down Alt and I'll just click and drag it onto that circle, which is the circle with no fill. So this is what we have. Now I'm just going to group these two up and call them ellipse. Now I'm going to create a rectangle beneath this ellipse. So I'll go back to the shapes tool and I'll grab a rectangle tool and I'll draw a perfect rectangle like so. Now mind you, since my foreground color is set to white, you may not see, so I'll just double click and change the color. So I'll be using this color code, that's 20 20 20, and I'll just click on OK. So what I'll do is I'll click and drag this on top of the ellipse tool and I'll try to align this perfectly like so. Now the idea is to keep the logo at the center of these two. So to make sure I get a perfect alignment, I can always bring up my rulers and I'll click and drag this to the center like so. So with the logo selected or the logo text selected, I'll try to place this also at the center. So this is what we are having. So I don't want these edges over here. So what I'll do is I'll just go back to the ellipse tool. With this ellipse selected, that is the first ellipse we created. I'll hold down Ctrl and I'll create a selection around it like so by just clicking on the thumbnail. And I'll go back to the rectangle tool and I'll click on layer mask. So that's going to hide those portions like so. This is what we want. Okay, now once I've done that, I think the logo is already looking nice to me. But we are not done yet. I'll create one more shape. So that would be a rounded rectangle shape. So I'll be using the rounded rectangle tool. But that shape is going to be beneath the ellipse. So I'll just click and drag. And I'm basically going to adjust how this is because I don't know how it's going to look now. So for now, you can see, you know what, let's change the foreground color. So let's change the foreground color to somewhere around blue. So now if I try to draw, you can see that we have these curved edges. The pixel density is actually 50. So I'm going to adjust it the way I want. I don't think 50 is enough for me. So I'll probably increase it to 200. Let's try 200. And I think 200 is a little bit too much. So I'll try 100. So yeah, I think 100 is okay for me. So let's quickly delete that up and I'll create it one more time. This time around, I'll set it to 100 pixel for the radius of the borders. So holding down shift, I'll just click and drag so that I have a perfect rectangle. And once I've done that, I'll just place this at the center. So like, I probably shouldn't have thrown away my rulers now. Anyway, so this is what we have. And I want to change the color of the rounded rectangle. So I'll double click on the thumbnail and I'll select a white color, but this time around I'll make it a little bit darker. So somewhere around here should be just fine. So that will be CE and I'll just click on OK. So basically that is how to create this logo in Adobe Photoshop. Thank you guys for watching. If you want this PSD, I'm going to leave it linked in the description below in case you want to work your way around it or know how I created some of these things if you didn't watch the entire video. So be sure to check the links in the description below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like to watch more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Final Concept, and I'll see you guys in the next one.